It's usually set hike, but listen, we're so deep in the simulation, in the snake pit, that my hands are trembling. I feel sick. Oof. But as I said on the last podcast, I have a six-pack, so it's easy for me to fight sickness. I got you there, Lopes. Come on, brother. Now listen, before I introduce our guests, on my right, camera left, I'd like to just address who else is in the building. Shout your name, we'll hear you on the mic. We'll start over here with the new guy.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh. Next, Alex, proud Zuvi member. Kyle did all the lights and the visuals at the Zuvi, which you guys missed. Now, your friend called me at 3 in the morning asking if he could get in.
Oh, Lex?
Lex, I think, yeah.
I'm like, bro, this thing is long over. He's like, oh, my bad, bro.
He's on demon time.
But I thought he was
been on
white.
Demon Time.
Oh,
You can't be on demon time if you're white, bro.
Oh, bro, that's a whole different.
Yeah, no comment.
Wait, we're not going to get into his business.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not doing a great job at networking out here because I'd say about 97% of my guests are from our state.
Oh, shit.
Now, I had heard of you guys way back, and I was actually looking at messages, or I think I had commented on your Instagram in 2019 when you guys were doing shows at the warehouse.
The BT
Now,
Studios?
Lopes, that's where I used to produce the podcast, was in that little black room in the warehouse.
Oh,
That's where I used to run the show.
What's her name?
Peggy.
Yeah.
Peggy, yeah.
And she was always saying, she was like, oh, the guys from BT Studios out in Hollywood, they're making it. I think like as soon as you guys had got out here. So anyway, on my right, camera left, I have Lopes and Galileo from BT Studios.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome, brethren.
Great intro, love it.
Thank you, man. 400 episodes deep of this show, so I better be good at it.
400?
That was an exaggeration. 340.
How many in
340.
LA?
There's probably 25,
Okay.
30 maybe.
How long?
I don't know what LA is. I know what the snake pit is.
What?
Since 2018.
Oh, shit. 1 week? No.
Once a week for 4 years.
Damn, that's a lot.
Discipline.
Consistency.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Now, what is the difference between BT Living and BT Studios? And actually, before we get into that, can you guys just explain who you are and what you do?
Yeah, for sure. So me and Lopes are co-owners, like a television film production company. Started in Boston. We're in Boston for like about 2 years. Wasn't really moving in Boston. Didn't make sense. Like the industry just wasn't there. So we pretty much decided to make the jump to LA.
Yeah.
And been out of LA for like the last 4 years.
I mean, we were just shooting the shits in Boston, trying, thinking we're some like hot shit, but then like kind of, I mean, he knew way more about film than me back then.
I was gonna say even your early stuff looked more narrative, like because no, I remember you guys were like really like. It wasn't like you guys were like running, gunning shoots. You guys were writing on storyboards and you had color palettes. I remember seeing a Connor's video of you guys like shooting it on a parking garage. You guys like desaturated all the colors.
Yeah. So
Well, that was when it was just me and him doing everything. You know what I mean?
So that's how you guys started. You were just shooting videos.
yeah, it started. I mean, like Lopes was going to Northeastern for like business school.
Yeah.
I was going to Emerson, which is like a film school. When we first built it, it was like more so around like me directing. So I think that's why it was more like all this narrative stuff in the beginning, because like me, like I'm a big film guy, so everything I was doing was trying to be like a movie and a narrative and all this, like deep symbolism. And then obviously when we moved to LA, I kind of grew out of that. And now I'm a producer too, so I think definitely the company and what we shoot's changed for sure.
How did you guys meet in Somerville or Cambridge before that, or how did you guys link in the first place?
So I moved from Brazil at like 12 or 13, I think 13, kind of, then went to Somerville High, and then at the time I was really hanging out with the Brazilians, but then I met this Gabe, who's like Gal's like childhood friend, and kind of started hanging out with those kids.
Where'd you and Gabe meet?
Bro, this place called Verizon. So we used to,
Smoking weed.
smoke hella weed, and like that was kind of like the intro where like
What was it, like a lounge?
No, no,
You
bro.
mean
it's
like Verizon,
it's
the
like,
mobile store?
It's like there's like this building that's like a Verizon building, but wasn't like a store. It was just like a building where they did shit in there. I don't know exactly what it
Yeah,
was.
you're really like a
This is like- no, it's more-
scumbag kid, huh?
Yeah.
Well, this is when we're like all 13, 14 years old, so no one's got a car to drive.
Yeah.
No one's got like their own house to smoke weed in, and none of your parents are gonna let it happen. So like Verizon was just like an abandoned industrial spot
It
where
was
like,
like the back of it. So
it was just like the known spot to
it was
go
like,
like
yo,
spark up.
You
meet
guys
at
were little
Verizon.
slime balls.
Bro, it
Oh,
was
for
the
sure.
spot. It's like, yo, meet at Verizon like before school to smoke or any other time. That was like the spot that we would hang out.
So that's what you were on. You were getting high before school.
Pretty much, bro. Like 6:30 in the morning, like everybody goes there, smokes a blunt, then walks. Cause it was like
Bro, it was
right by the
insane.
school. Yeah. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. But then I met Gabe, and then there's this one night I was at some Brazilian girl's house with like a bunch of other kids, and then Gabe, I don't know what happened, but I was really drunk. Like it was like when I first started drinking.
How old are you?
Bro, probably like 15.
Yeah, 15,
16.
16. Yeah.
Is that how old you were the first time you drank?
No.
Oh,
no,
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 bro.
no.
How old were
Definitely
you?
like-
Come on, we're degenerates. I just told you that.
8, 9.
What?
I mean, it was like, bro, it was a one-time thing. Like I was in Brazil, bro.
You got smacked at 9?
Bro, fucking done, bro.
That's hilarious.
Because I used to hang out. I used to hang out with the kids, the older kids in Brazil. Like the younger kids didn't like me. They used to bully me and shit. But the older kids liked me, and then they'll throw these parties, and then there was like alcohol left one day, and I was like, yo, can I drink that? And I got smacked, bro. Maybe like drink half a cup. But they took care of me. You know what I mean?
So you've been drinking since you were 9 years old.
No, but obviously not. I mean, like that was like, the first time.
It explains a lot. You know what I'm saying.
But anyways, what happened was Gabe picks me up, and there's this girl, Amanda, who used to just drive us around all over Boston, and we'd smoke weed. And she picked me up. I think Gal was in the car. At that point, I was blacked
This is
out.
how I know he was blackout, because that's
Or maybe not. All I know, bro, is I woke up in his kid's house, and I had thrown up in his mom's bed.
Wow.
yeah,
And that was
terrible.
the-
Yeah, what really happened was these fools. I was going to private school at the time for soccer.
Wait, Shady Hill? BBN?
Thayer Academy.
There, got it.
And my parents were both gone, and like they were in Tokyo for whatever reason. My dad's a professor; it's a whole thing. But they're all in public school. We're on different schedules for vacations, so they were all on vacation. But I like had school, and I get hit up by like Gabe and Ethan at like 11 or like midnight. Like, hey, bro, like, cause they knew I had a free crib. Like, yo, can we pull up? Blah blah blah. It's only a few people to be chill. I'm like, oh man, and like they just peer pressure me into it. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Even though it's like a Wednesday, I have school in the morning. My commute's like I gotta be up at like 6, 7 in the morning. So of course they come over. It's not a few people. It's like 8 or 9 people. They're playing music, blah blah blah. Lopes, who I'd never met at the time, is like trash drunk. Yeah, falls
So
asleep in my
fucked up.
parents' bed, throws up everywhere. The boy's like, oh, we'll clean it up.
This
Don't
was the first time you guys had met.
first time we
First
ever
time
met,
ever,
bro.
bro.
And they're like, we'll clean it up, we'll clean it up, we'll clean it up. They had convinced me to get high at this point, so I'm like, I assume they're gonna clean it up, and I go to sleep too. We wake up in the morning, no one's cleaned it.
Just reeks.
Terrible. I had to throw the entire mattress out.
But you guys
'Cause
put me
it's
on
so-
the couch or something, because when I woke up, there was no throw up near
Yeah,
me.
because you kept. Oh, that was like. Yeah, I remember you kept like choking afterwards. It was like
Oh.
it was a little traumatizing.
Sounds pretty bad.
And we're all. My parents are like hippies, so like all the couches we have are not normal couches. They're like you sink into the back of them, which like an angle back like this. So
Okay.
obviously the worst possible couch for someone not choking, because they're like the only way you could put him, you would always end up choking.
Oh, really?
But we're all stoned out of our minds, so we're like trying to troubleshoot the situation when really we should just put him on the ground. But it was a
bad,
fiasco.
bro.
It was a thing.
So the next day, did you come apologize?
No,
No, but I
The
woke
second-
up, he wasn't even there.
bro. The second time I ever met Lopes, it sounds crazy. We got high again.
But
it
at
was
my
just
house.
Ethan at his house.
Was it at the your house?
At his house this time. So it was my turn to fuck up his crib. And I got stoned out of my mind, and his mom, like a hotel or something, had this big
But hold on,
jar.
for context, my house is always spotless, like
She-
nice and organized,
Clean.
real Brazilian shit. And these kids start like throwing candy everywhere. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" So I grab a knife and I'm like, "Yo, y'all
Get the fuck out.
Or I was super high, but I was like when we first started like smoking when we were kids. You know?
So you real deal grabbed a knife.
And I
grabbed
locked
the
myself in the
knife.
bathroom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they were fucking with me, bro. I was like, "Yo."
Why you guys still friends? Like this is like
That's crazy. The first time we ever, I mean, you know, Lex, who obviously is part of the company now too. First time we ever met Lex, we were friends at this
Oh,
point.
yeah,
We
bro.
threw hands with Lex the first time we ever met him. Like one of my boys was like flashing like, 3, 4 G's with like drug money, but his boys just like snatched that shit, and everyone like squared up.
Wait, Lex snatched the money or his
One
friend?
of Lex's
his
boys.
boy,
That was the first ever interaction we
What
had
type
with him.
of shit were you guys getting into? Like,
Bro, it was
this was not
growing
like for
up,
me growing up.
It was like, it was pretty wild.
There
but
a
it
lot
was
going
like-
Were
on.
you guys just like reckless kids?
We
Yeah.
were, but we were smart.
You were good in school.
You
were those
we were
types.
like we're the kids that like got really fucked up and did dumb shit, but like everybody was like smart and like did good in school.
Okay.
Also
yeah.
a little bit of obviously not Lopes because Lopes was the immigrant, but like the rest of the group was like all the white kids like me with like middle class mom and dad. So like if like you know the police came to your house, it wasn't a huge deal because they're gonna go talk to them, you know.
It's also
So I
different.
think we
though.
got away with a lot.
Yeah. But were you guys in like residential areas of Somerville and Cambridge or?
I was like a big apartment. My mom's like an artist, so it was like a hippie building. And then
Nah, but I lived in a room with my mom the first year, 2 years. in
You and your
America.
mom moved here alone.
Yeah, just me and my. Well, I have an aunt in Boston, so that's why we moved there.
Okay.
But then like we lived.
Tell the
in a
story better.
room- What do you mean? What part?
it's more
Well,
inspirational.
he's
Oh,
Lopes,
I mean,
like,
no,
say you have
bro,
an
like,
immigration
I grew
story.
up-
Lopes didn't
look,
speak
look,
any
I grew up-
English.
Yeah, I
and-
grew up in Brazil, right? Like just me and my mom. I don't have a dad. I'm artificial insemination. You know what that is? It's
Really?
Like my mom paid for
Didn't
me,
have to say that
technically
part.
speaking.
Wait.
No, but it's part of the story,
Sounds
bro.
better if like I never met my
Nah,
father.
but
he
it's
could
cool.
Be, you
No,
know, out there.
I grew up thinking this dude was my dad, and then I figured it was my dad. My mom was dating him at the time, bro. It's the whole situation. But my mom raised me by herself, and then, bro, I was chilling in Brazil. Like my mom had a good job and everything, right?
You were
But,
getting
like,
fucked up every day. 6 years old.
Nah, I used to get bullied a lot. Actually, I was like, I don't know why kids didn't like me, but I always like I had a cousin who was from here, and then she would visit. And like I had this weird obsession with America for some reason. I don't know if it was the movie. I'm pretty sure it was the movies. You know, like cheerleaders and lockers and football teams, like weird shit like that. That like you only really get it.
He said
from being
lockers.
like no, it was a huge thing
No,
for me.
yeah.
It's like cool. It's like because you don't have that in other countries. You know what I mean?
You really liked High School Musical, huh?
Bro, probably, bro. I used to love movies. And then somehow, bro, as a fucking 9, 10-year-old, I pushed my mom to like go get the visa. And we got the visa, and then we came. We weren't really gonna stay, but then I was like, Mom, can we stay? And then we stayed, bro. And then like it's been 11 years now.
Can you explain what that means, artificial insemination? So like, would someone call you a test tube baby? Not even to be mean?
I don't baby, bro. It's like I have a cousin who her husband can't have, I don't know.
Shoots blanks.
Exactly. So it's like kind of a normal
Real
thing.
wordsmith.
But my mom was like just by herself, so because she was married for like up until she was like 30, but the relationship didn't work out. I feel like she was getting older. I don't really know the back end of her story.
And she wanted a kid.
She wanted a kid, and then she just like paid for it. But it's like you, bro. It's like the dad is like health check, like like so you kind of is like
So like, does that mean like she got sperm from someone? Is that kind of how it works?
no. She goes to the hospital, like women who the husband shooting blanks, like you said, right? They go to the hospital, or whatever, the doctor, and then they pretty much it's like, yeah, I want to have a baby. And they pick, now there's way more technology and shit. So like you can be like, oh, my kid to have blue eyes,
Yeah.
and blonde hair. Back then it was just like more general
It
characteristics.
was like a
from-
catalog almost, right?
Exactly. So I guess like my mom picked what looked like her, and then kind of came out looking like her. But she could have picked like some blonde dude with blue eyes,
Understood.
But it's like a whole, it's a thing it's a whole thing, bro. It's kind of cool in my opinion.
And you had like no medical problems?
Never, bro.
You're
No,
like the first person I ever met that had this. That's dope.
it's interesting. It's,
And
I mean,
you're
you
like
don't really
smart
meet
and like you're
people-
functioning and like.
Yeah, I mean, some.
I'm
obviously, bro,
serious. Like there are complications with shit like that
I'm
sometimes.
sure, like,
Yeah, I'm sure, especially in a third world
know,
country.
yeah, bro. I mean, but there's the health part of it, but there's also like the like some kids might be traumatized to like grow up without a dad and think, you know what I mean?
It
It's
made
kind
you a
of weird thing.
savage.
I mean, boy, it worked out fine, Like, I'm here, I'm good. I'm in LA. My mom's
Making
in
big
Brazil.
videos.
Yeah, the takeaway I was looking for from that story was more so moved here with a single mom, not speaking the language when he was like 14 years old.
Yeah.
But the test tube part's cool.
Plus the test tube part, you know.
That's 2 parts epic, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
So you guys are shooting videos. I remember, and then you guys were also like you were shooting with local artists at the time, and then you would host. What was it called? Warehouse One, some shit like that.
Summer vibe.
Summer
But it
Vibe.
was spelled SOMER.
I remember that.
because the city we're from.
Yeah, and I remember Marcelo was always there and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because
But did Marcelo perform, or you guys did videos for him?
yeah, he performed both
Our
years.
first video was Marcelo
Was he?
ever. Yeah.
The kid's got great energy, bro.
Yeah,
I love
we gotta put up on the screen right now the first ever video. I'll text it to you afterwards.
Boy, was it ass?
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
I was awful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I mean, at the time, like, yo,
we were like, we're up. This is it.
What'd you shoot on, like a Rebel T5i or something?
It was like a Nikon, but yeah,
And we had,
the
we
equivalent
had the
of a
first
Canon.
drones. Remember, like the first like DJI drones, like the shitty plastic
Oh,
ones.
but you were young with the drone. You guys
We
were
had
up.
DJI 2 Pro, and
Oh,
we
bro,
it
we
was
were
crazy.
on, bro. Gal had this big ass tripod. I
Tripod.
don't know why, bro. Like this like huge tripod.
Massive sack. Because I was looking at like film stuff. I was like, what is a real tripod? And like they sent it to me, and it was like for like film cameras that are like 20, 30 pounds, like a big sackler. We had like a baby little DSLR on it.
Yeah, but we thought
looked
we were lit,
ridiculous.
bro. We were like, yo, we got this. And then did the first one. We're like, yo, we can really do this.
Yeah.
And then after that, just like kept doing it.
Yeah, but at what point did you not feel stimulated by Boston anymore? Was there like an epiphany?
Financially,
Oh yeah.
I was just like, oh man, how did it go?
Mind you, Lopes, I don't know if you know this. I made a movie in Boston before
Oh, you
coming out
did?
here. I did. I made a feature
Oh yeah.
with like just Boston-based shit, cast, crew, locations. So I understand what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
There's limitations over there, bro.
I'm trying to think.
Huge.
We did the Kyle Banks one, which I feel like was like our first. Kyle Banks, is that the right word? Yeah. You looked at me funny. We did these. It's like there's a whole normal trajectory. We did like the cello videos, and then every artist, has like we started working with bigger and bigger artists. I remember we did the thing with the Chef Boys, like God. That was like the first big like.
Super Smash Bros.
Yeah. We started working with artists like I'd seen on Instagram. I was like, damn, like I'm making videos for these people.
I had Polo Summers perform at a show I threw at the Middle East.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you
Polo
know, so-
Summers, like God. I mean, I think after like God, we're like, yo,
Well,
We made it.
I was gonna say.
not really. I mean, Kyle Banks. It got to a point. It's like the people who are in the scene here were like there. Other than like Cousin Stiz wasn't even there anymore at the time.
Got it.
Yeah,
Right?
I was gonna say like the real turning point for me, maybe disagree, Lopes, is I feel like we did those Kyle Banks videos where we did these like it was a big artist that we already knew
Yeah.
because he'd done the stuff with Joyner, and we did this like series with him where it was like one takes where we'd like storm a store. So like we stormed like he did a remix to Gucci Gang, which was big at the time, and we stormed like a Gucci store with like 30 dudes just like squatted up, like no permission, anything, like ran in there with a speaker and just performed. And then we did another one with like a motorsport remix, and we went to like a Maserati store and stormed that. And those did really big. Those were like the biggest videos we ever did. I think one got like 300,000 views.
You went on like
the Gucci Gang.
Snapchat Complex or something.
We got posted on
We're like, yo, we're
Complex.
lit.
So we were like, yo, we're up. This is, again, it was the second, tier of like, now we're up, now we've made it. And then that happened, and we kind of like stifled for like 3-4
Yeah.
months. Just like nothing moved, nothing
Then
changed.
at the time you're going to Emerson, right?
I forget the timeline, but yeah, I was either going to Emerson or I just dropped out. No. I was going to Emerson. That's a lie. I was.
Well, I remember one day he's like, yo, I'm going to LA. I'm like, I'm going too, like, fuck it. And then,
Just because you felt just
Yeah, it was a few things. One, like it wasn't always just me and Lopes. Like we had 3 other friends, but like we're young at the time, and it wasn't clear like who's invested, who's not, right? And 2, like I was just, I don't know, I was doing research. I was educated. I knew like if we like want to make this as big as possible, obviously, and like I just knew you have to go to LA to do that. That's just like the way it works.
yeah, it's
You know,
inevitable.
even back then I knew that. Like everyone knows that. And I still think it's true for the most part. But there was like 5 of us in the group, and I was pretty much like, hey guys, like I'm moving to LA, and if you don't drop out and move out too, like you're not taking this serious. Like no offense to you, but
Well, I think it's an interesting shift that you were a director and now like you're in full blown entrepreneur mode.
Yeah.
When did that happen? Were you just like, yo, I'd rather just make a bag?
I think the circumstances.
Same shit with me,
for
bro.
sure.
Circumstances for sure.
Circumstances for sure.
You
Like
got to a point that it's just like, bro, it's like too much work. Like, or it's just too much going on. It's like we just need to tackle shit, do things at the same time. You know what I mean?
yeah, I also just couldn't keep up with the local LA directors. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I love all of our directors. I love all of them. But I will say, like, you'll see there's a lot of directors who, like grew up in LA. It's like when they're 16, 17, these
Yeah.
fools were going to school with Wiz Khalifa. Like literally one of our directors told me a story when he was like 16, 17. Burner and Wiz texted him like midday during school, was like, hey yo, let's shoot a video, and pulled up to his school. He just like ditched school at lunch and like went to their house and was like at their house for 3 days just shooting videos. So I think I got pushed out of it directorially because one, I wasn't as good as everyone else, I guess, and two, like these fools just grew up in LA around all these resources, you know.
Oh, you're saying like you were at a disadvantage because you didn't have the network right away when you got
For
out
sure,
there.
not to write it off. I think they're all talented, and there's definitely a lot I was lacking. But a huge component of this is, especially in the realm we're in with music videos, is like connections and who you know and relationships.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, all these directors like went to high school with these people who have been around for so long. You know,
It's a tricky world for sure.
So what were the first couple months like when you got to LA? Where'd you guys move first?
folks, you want to go?
Bro, we lived in like called Pico Union right next to
Well,
downtown.
don't
Pico
you talk
Union.
Pico Union, but
I mean, it was, bro.
we
At
had
the
a bad
time,
experience.
like it was like, yo, like we're here, like it was exciting, you know. But like, I don't say it's the hood, bro, but definitely like for
It's not.
Yeah.
tough.
it's like, bro.
Were you off
we,
Pico?
Like, well,
It's-
right next to downtown.
it's like right below Koreatown. I mean, bro, we got robbed. Like we were
Yeah.
consistently getting robbed.
Like
Well,
what?
we
Your
looked-
car, or your
we
crib?
Just looked like we didn't
Everything,
belong
everything.
There, bro.
Your
even
crib
my-
got robbed?
Even my respect, Connor, it was stripped of me.
Your masculinity.
Yeah, everything. We like, bro, we ordered, because we were moving in, there was no furniture. So the first day we got there, we timed like our mattress delivery to get there the same day that we landed, so we didn't have to sleep on the fucking ground the first night we got there. And we got there, and like, there's no mattress. Like, weird, okay.
Yo,
Like,
should've
go on.
slept in the car that day.
Yeah, a lot of things I would have done.
No
different.
power in the house, right? Like, just bro, like the
Yeah.
crib just looked like I was like we showed up, was like, oh shit.
We were idiots and hadn't thought about the fact that we need to turn the power on,
Yeah.
like set up an account. So there's no power. Our mattress had gotten stolen. It had gotten delivered like 2 hours before we got there. It's gone. Whatever.
Yeah.
Then like 2-3 months later, we wake up in the morning and like Lopes comes back. He's like, "Yo, bro, like where'd you park the Prius?" Because we were sharing a car at the time. He's like,
Nah, it was
over
longer
here.
than that. No, it was like we were there for like solid like 8 months.
Okay. Oh, the Prius got stolen at some point.
Well, I dropped the keys when I went to get tacos.
Story was better when you didn't say that. But anyway, the Prius gets stolen. We get it back like 2 weeks later from the police. It's literally got like a literal crack pipe in it and like a broken window. And
That happened to my
tampons.
friend too. Yeah.
Insane. And then like what, 3-4 months after that,
Nah, I'd say like 2 months after.
2 months after that, like we come home one day and like
We had gone to shoot some like B-roll shit for like some little commercial thing. We come back and like we walk in the house and it's just like it smells weird, and I go to the kitchen. There's like a cigarette inside of the pan.
we're like, oh, that's
And
weird.
then, like there's ice cream.
I
like,
walk into
on
my
top of
room.
gals,
I
like,
walk into my
fucking
room
playing.
and there's a tub of ice cream just like upside down, like just melting on my bed.
Stu was really just enjoying himself.
Bro,
what I'm
it's just like,
saying,
and the
like,
gal's like,
That's
yo,
hilarious.
Take my shit and leave.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
don't
where's the
disrespect me.
computer? It's like, where's the computer? I go in my room, like, where's my speakers? Like,
Dude
we're
was
like,
just playing music, eating ice cream.
no, bro, I don't, bro. It's just we like, yo, where's this? Where's that? And then we're like, and then we go to the back of the house, and like the window is just like open. And, like, they're like,
Small little window though.
yeah, we got robbed.
So we got robbed. I hope this is not too long of a story, but I'm gonna tell it because I think it's a good one. So we get robbed, right? And laptops get stolen. We do like the whole Mac find my like
Find my-
notify. Yeah, it's locked or whatever. We go, we file a police report, whatever. It's like 2-3 days later. We're
We're
at
at
food
fucking
for less.
Yeah.
Throw back to food for less.
Is that a grocery store?
It's a-
Yeah, it's just like the cheap.
Yeah.
There's
like-
like levels of grocery
like
stores
Aldi.
out here. You know?
Yes.
Same shit as Aldi.
It's like up over there, like
I
people
think
go to
it's
Stop
lower.
and Shop here. It's like there's like food for less, 99
I think food
cents,
for less is lower than that.
It's like, is it like food for less and Market Basket?
I'd probably say lower.
Market Basket's fire though.
No disrespect
Market
to anyone.
Basket is actually fire, but like food for less is probably like,
I got understood.
Yeah.
you know.
You guys were hustling.
We're hustling. We're doing our groceries, and then like Lopes taps was like, yo, look at this, and you got like a notification that says your laptop was turned on at this address, and then I like pull out my phone, same exact notification for my laptop, same address. Like, oh shit. So like
Probably
we-
like a couple blocks up the street.
yeah, it's like we leave our shopping cart, like start like
Call the police first. Tell them, and they're like, "Oh, we can't do anything about it." We're like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
it's
man?
after hours and only your
Yeah.
detectives can handle the case. Was I think
Yeah.
what they said. So like fuck it, we're gonna go. I was like, the plan is we're gonna go, and then I'm gonna call them and be like, hey, I was assaulted. Because if I say I was assaulted, they're gonna come. Or like say like I got shot, they're gonna come. And then once I was like, we'll just figure it out. Because once they're there and they see our shit, like it'll be okay. Again, this is like our summer experience with the police, a little different in LA. So that's the plan. So we go to where it says it is. We pull up to the top of the street,
Sketchy.
Dead
Hella sketchy, bro.
dead end street. There's like 3 vagrant dudes just like walking around,
Yeah.
like terrible, but we're like, whatever, fuck it. Because the thing is, they took all of our shit, like our camera gear. So that's like
And
kind
our
of,
computers, bro. Everything was in the computer.
And you guys don't have
And-
that bag on you at the time either. It's a big deal.
and our hard drives. So we just shot this huge video, or not a huge, at the time it was a big deal. We shot a big video for this guy who was the manages like London on the beat or London on the track.
Was it the kid's son?
Yeah, his son.
His son.
But to us, it was we had shot for this big hotshot son. We'd done a music video for him, and they'd taken the footage. And
Oh.
like when we first texted the guy, he's like, "I don't give a fuck. Like that's not my issue. Figure it out." Like I was like, "Hey, bro, I just got robbed. I have nothing left." He's like, "I don't care. Like find my footage." So we were a little on edge to like get our footage back too. So we pull up to the top of the street, like park the car, hop out, and we're following it, like following the GPS or to the map. Literally hopping like over like yards, and we end up like in someone's backyard.
It's
next to a
just
window.
like a flat, like cars in the back, like, and then I play the sound, you know how you can play the sound, and we're right by the window in the back, and I hear the computer. It's like toot toot toot. I'm like, oh, it's in here, and then like the door is like open, so we're like, gals, like, I'm like,
Yeah, Lopes freaks out.
I'm
I
like,
thought this
I'ma
was when we
get my
call the police
computer,
and get them
bro.
involved.
I'm like, yo, fuck this shit. So we walk in, and then the door is open, and like there's like the Spanish lady just like kind of like cooking food, and I start speaking Spanish. I'm like, yo, give me my computer, like what the fuck.
Pressing the grandma.
Start pressing her, and then this big ass dude just from like the back just starts walking towards the door, and like I think he thought we were like cops or undercovers or something, because at first he was super calm. He was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Bro, I hear my computer. Like I know my computer's back there." And then we kind of go back and forth, and then it kind of turns around to the point, and now he's like, "Yo, like what the fuck you got? Like what's up with you guys?" And then
Yeah, mind you, I just want to clarify. They're speaking Spanish the whole time, so I have no idea what's being said or what's going on.
Bro.
But I see the big angry like Mexican dude is not happy.
yeah, and it just turns around. Now he's coming at us, and then he starts saying some crazy shit about like, "Yo, we kill people," like some crazy shit, bro.
And then like 6 of his homies just like pull up behind us. And I was like, oh
No, we go to the street. No, he makes us walk to the street, and then as soon as we walk to the street, like there's these guys like under the tree, so it's kind of dark. And then as he walks, it says some, I don't know, it says some weird name like Jose or some shit. And then these guys just come out of the dark on like some movie scene shit. And it's just me and Gal, there's 2 white boys like just standing there, and there's all these chulos like looking at us crazy. And then this dude is just like, yeah, like you don't fuck around, like said some crazy shit to us. So we're like, okay. And then Gal like,
I was
kinda
like, this is
diffused
where
the
my life
situation.
ends. Like me trying to get a fucking Mac laptop, getting beat to death on like a random corner.
And then we leave, bro. It's just like whatever, it's a dub.
Yeah, we just like inched away. I was like, bro, I'm so sorry.
Yes,
We are-
you really heard the laptop going off in the
Bro, I
background.
heard it,
though.
bro. I was like, yo, my computer's there. And like out, bro, like I got the Brazilian in me came out. I'm like, yo, give me my fucking computer.
But you're speaking in Spanish, not Portuguese.
With the lady at first, and then the dude I spoke a little bit, but then bro, it was like a mixture of like, it's just like I was like, oh no. Like the moment he started like turning the thing around on us, I was like, oh shit.
So how did you guys salvage your relationship with the dude you lost the footage for?
we didn't. We didn't.
Oh, we didn't. Bro, the amount of L's we took, and then also it goes into like, I think the amount of L's we took coming here, like computer, the car, like losing footage, like we fucking went through the shits.
How long was that period for you where you just felt like you were getting beat?
I feel like a year.
I was gonna say a year and a half.
Year
I mean,
and a
like me and
half.
Lopes were driving like DoorDash part time for
Pay your rent.
I'd say like the first year,
Uber, bro.
and then
It's trash.
yeah, and then I would say like a year and a half. And then we got our first big gig with like DCAM. I feel like, and
Well, we started
You're doing
paying.
weren't you doing Tmar videos?
Yeah.
yeah, I love Timar. Shout out to Timar.
But that's who you started
did-
working with right away out here, right?
No,
No.
we didn't do any in LA.
I didn't do anything. With
Oh, you didn't do
She
that
was-
like one with like it was like super colorful, that rainbow video. It's like she had the teacup and shit.
Oh.
She always has a
That was
TikTok.
back
Oh,
in
that's her thing?
Boston. What you're thinking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
She
But
was another reason we kind of moved out here was because she got signed to a label deal. And we're like, this is perfect. We can like.
We were like, bro, it's
move out.
gonna change our lives.
We're gonna change our
like,
lives, yeah.
Didn't do shit.
All right, so you guys are like really grinding it out for like 18 months living in Pico, and then
Bro,
when do
we
things
do-
start shifting where you actually start picking up legit clients?
Well, we started PAing, bro. Started like just production assistant. Like it got.
Lopes was messaging producers, being like, "Hey, I'll clean your set for you."
That's how I got my in.
You're a
bro,
hustler.
first
He's
guy.
good,
And
yeah.
like that's kind of how things really changed the game for us. Cause then I met this director, who like at one point I was like, yo, can I just produce for you? And he was like, yeah. And I mean, and then me and Gal, we did like a 3K video or a 4K.
5K.
5K, and then he trusted us, bro. And then I
TJ.
was like, fucking like.
You guys did the
8K.
post production on that too?
He
Yeah.
he edited, but like we ran the production. Like at that point, we started like understanding like, okay, how does it work? Like you get a client, there's a label, you get the money, you get part of the money, then you produce the job, then there's the post. So through all those little like small jobs, we kind of started understanding how like production really worked, and like kind of built our system.
Yeah.
You know, but like off scratch, bro. Like maybe there was this one producer who like I was in with, and he really taught me a lot. And then through that, I kind of like we copied like kind of their system, and then like as we grew, like it was just like a learning phase. You know what I mean? But everything was pretty small. I think the first big one we did was like DDG for like 28K, and like, I was like, yo,
Yeah, we
so
thought it
much
was nuts.
money.
It was 28K.
Yeah, we had like basically what we were doing was like all of the music video stuff or even film in general, it's like hermit crabs, you know what I mean? Where like you just gotta find like a hermit crab who's like a gig is too small for them and they're just gonna pass it down. So that's like what me and Lopes were doing was like Lopes, I was still kind of a director at the time, so we found this like producer director duo where Lopes was like, hey, like anything that's too small for you, like I'll just do it. I'll handle it and I'll give you some money off the top. And same with me and this director. I was like, hey, I'll write your treatments, I'll help you edit, same thing. Anything that's too small for you, I'll take it on.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, they ended up blessing us with this like 10K, which was huge, our biggest budget at the time. And then we
did,
get a call like the next day. They're like, actually, instead of the 10K, they want to reshoot a bigger video they already did. That's 25K. And we were like, that's nuts.
Bro,
That's
we were
crazy.
like, yo, it's so much, but like never had like paid people, like never had like
A set.
you know, like
It's a
fucking-
miracle that that set wasn't like a catastrophe looking back on
Yeah,
it
I mean,
now.
we did our thing, and like paying people, bro. I was like writing like physical checks to everybody, like didn't really
No insurance.
no insurance, bro. Like I remember they
No call sheet. Do we even do a call sheet?
No, we definitely call sheet.
Oh, okay.
Like they loop me in an email. They're like, "Do you guys have workers' comp?" I'm like, "What the fuck is workers' comp?" I didn't say that, but I was like, "Yes, we do." You know. So kind of just like thugged it out, bro. I mean, that was my motto for a while. I just thugged it out as much as we could,
Keep hustling.
and things just over time started like we did a lot, bro. We hustled a lot, like 5Ks, 4Ks, 10Ks, like
For a
we
long
did
time.
For a long time.
Even through COVID, I think it worked out well.
COVID was like our fucking.
We're so big now that I think if it was COVID, it would suck for us because our
Yeah.
productions we can't really run through COVID. But at the time, we were at this Goldilocks spot where we were working with all these rappers like Mozzie and like
Dom
Kennedy and
like,
all these rappers who were like kind of self-funded and had these like 10, 20K budgets, and during COVID didn't really give a fuck
yeah.
about like the whole COVID regulations. And we had a crew who all hung out together and wasn't too worried about COVID. So like,
And we really just said, fuck it, bro. Like,
Happened to a lot of businesses during COVID. It's
Yeah.
like either people slowed down or they sped all the way the fuck up.
because we were small enough, we're like, we'll take those gigs. We're not worried about the liability. We're not worried about this or that. It was a little reckless, but you know, it definitely
and
worked
right
out.
after COVID, bro, shit just like I think first year did like 120K in revenue, like for like we really started was like October of 2020, I'd say.
2020, we did like 800, 900K in revenue.
Okay, so then 2019, end of 2019, like we did 120K, and then the next year like
It was
800,
900K.
900. Then what? Last year probably like 2 million.
It's
You know what I mean?
2.4.
And
What's
now
the goal?
this year,
What's
like,
the goal this year?
I think it's gonna be like 4.5. It's like doubling every year, which is great. It's a good number.
What's the 10-year plan?
It's a good question. I mean, bro, me personally, like,
You afraid
know,
to say
we
it?
have-
And he already told
like-
me what his goals were outside Shay J. He looked at me dead in my eyes. He goes, "Don't tell anybody, man." But I'm gonna tell the whole world now. He's like, "I want a soccer team one day."
That's gonna happen for sure.
That's fire. That's a great goal.
I mean, bro, I think like I want to do cool shit for sure. You know what I mean? Obviously, financially do really well, but like also do cool stuff. You know what I mean?
You want to make your bag first and then do creative stuff.
Yeah.
Because you guys are like honestly the most producer-minded, oriented people I've met out here yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot of
that's
people
what
out here for just the creative. Like I love the art and shit. I'm not really like that either.
No.
I really like the
think
hustle.
we
But
appreciate it.
We appreciate different people in the game, right? And I think one thing we're good at this shit. Like we can like run 10, 15 jobs a month, and some people think that's like I've heard people being like, these kids do too many jobs or whatever, right? But I feel like we've built a structure that we know how to produce, right? We're not a director based production. We can produce the shit out of anything at this point, in my opinion, you know? And we do a really good job at it. We've never fucked anybody over. We always pay people on time. There's a lot of people out here who don't pay people on time, doesn't really put good productions together, you know what I mean? So like I feel like we're building a structure that at some point is just gonna flourish and it's gonna do really well because production wise we do our thing, in my opinion. I mean, we just did the Revolt job, bro, and like everybody was like, this was amazing. You know what I mean? I wasn't even part of it. So it's like I feel like we've built
Part
the
of it, but-
structure. I was, but like I had just come back from my trip, you know, and they
He was in
built-
Mykonos.
I was in Mykonos. But
How was that shutting your brain off from work for a little bit? Were you able to do it?
bro, it's
I
necessary.
mean, it's nice because you guys are a tandem.
Yeah, I mean, I think
You're like, I know Gal's got my back, but that's tough.
Yeah, we literally tag team. I had just gone off the map for a full month
he was off,
doing my
yeah.
little
And
travel
I was, bro, I
circuit.
went crazy.
And I
the
came
month
back and-
before, bro.
yeah.
Like I went to Miami like twice. Then I was in New York. Then I was back here. Like probably did like 10 jobs, like all over. And then he came back and was like, all right, I'm gonna shut it off, and then he can take over, which works perfect, bro. You know what I mean? But I definitely
Did you guys feel energized coming back from your breaks, or
Oh, I fucking feel like a new man, bro.
Yeah, it's great, bro. You just act like a degenerate, and you get it. Like I'm so disappointed in myself. By the time I come back, I'm like, I have to work.
Oh yeah, bro. Like
You're
felt like
slacking.
shit, bro. I felt like spent all this money. I mean, I felt great for like the experiences I had, but like I'm like I really like I just experienced this life, and I'm like, yo, I want to have this life one day. So I came back. I'm like, yo, it's real time to like get this fucking money. You know what
get
I mean?
this sack,
We're also
get to
competitive.
that cheddar?
Yeah,
We're also like
bro.
competitive in a good way. Obviously, it's like I'm out on vacation, and Lopes is like, "Yo, we just locked in this like YG video, or we're doing this or that." Or Lopes is on vacation, I'm like, "Yo, we locked in this like $500,000 TV show, this or that." So like you come back, you're like, "Oh, I'm slacking. I gotta pick up the work for your partner."
Yeah. I mean, bro, I think you need to, in this industry, you need to take a break because I burned myself out. It got to a point maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, I did that REI job, Subaru. And up until that point, bro, it was like 2 years of just like work, never like partied. Like we were inside for a while. Like
I also feel like we didn't have that financial freedom though.
exactly.
I think it's partly we've come to the mindset, but partly like we've
yeah,
been
but
making
we
good-
were hungry to like figure this shit out to make money because we're dumb broke at one point. You know what I mean?
For a long
Like,
time.
For a long time, and then like
longer than we've been rich for sure.
for sure. But like we worked really hard and shit really started happening. And I was on this job in fucking like Montana or some shit by like Glacier, the national park. Went to like
The
4
REI gig?
national parks, the REI job with Subaru. And I'm sitting at this lake, bro. It's like crazy lake, like fucking beautiful, right? I'm just sitting there. I'm like, yo, I'm really, bro, like, I'm not happy. Like I've this, probably the month I've made most money in my life, but like I don't feel like energized. You know what I mean? And that was like a big like fucking reality hit to me. It's like, yo, you gotta work hard, but you also gotta like take some time for yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta,
You just felt burnt out.
bro, crazy, bro. Like I didn't feel motivated. Like, and I'm like making all this money in this month and like this beautiful place, and I'm like, yo, what's wrong with me? I'm not enjoying what I'm doing right now.
How do you guys get most of your clients? Because like it's not like you have a huge social media following.
No.
Word of mouth,
One thing I
bro.
want to
It's
say.
all word of mouth.
Yeah, it's like all word of mouth. Like it's twofold. One, obviously, like every artist you work with has like a artist who's like one step higher. You know what I mean? So like your every project is marketing for itself. You know, like we shoot for YG. YG's got a lot of other big homies. We're gonna see that. Like, yo, I want that. Literally happened. Like we just
Oh yeah.
we did that YG video. Bosby hit us up. Tyler Yahweh. You know what I mean? You just get work off that.
And it's just people like us, bro. I feel like
Doing
people-
good work for
yeah,
sure.
doing good work. Like if you do good work and if you don't fuck people over, people are gonna come back. You know what I mean?
Like especially in music videos, all these label commissioners, for a lot of them, when you're dealing with these crazy personalities, it's kind of like babysitting. You know what I mean? Like the world revolves around these massive artists, and like whatever they want, they'll do it. Like I guess I should stop naming names at this point, but
Yeah.
like there's artists literally that we've had shoots where like I'm getting a rider for like their dogs. You know what I mean? Or like artists whose
God.
riders are so long, I have to hire 2 people to work for 3 days straight just to find the riders. It's insane.
What's the most insane rider you've ever had to pull together? What's the most insane rider you've ever developed?
So, like I was saying before, like she had dog food. We spent like $800, $900 on the dog food, and there was like candles on there that were like these special candles. We had to drive like 3-4 hours to this like boutique mom and pop like store that had these scented candles she wants. It was
Local
insane.
sourced hot sauce.
Yeah, I mean everything. Like,
Bro, there's this one writer for this one artist, like pretty major. Like, homie's married, has a kid, and there's like condoms on his writers.
insane. Yeah, like we had another one where I remember we did this crazy video. It was like our biggest video I'd say to date in terms of like logistics. We got hit up for these again like major A-list artists, and I remember thinking how crazy it was because I was just having a friend who visited from Boston the week before we got hit up for this video, and he's in the car and we listen to music, and like he plays this artist like, yo, if you ever do a video for these artists, you got to hit me up. I'll fly out for it. I haven't told you this story.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, hell yeah. But like, they're kind of like S tier. They're up there with like Drake. Like, they just will never do that. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Swear to God, next week we get hit up for those same artists for the video, and crazy production. Ended up having to like rig them to the roof of 18-wheeler trucks in the desert. I had like 4 days prep for this. You know, freaking out because we never did something on this scale before. I got like 18 like union stunt guys, this or that. Again, with the riders though, we had to hire people for like 3 days to get these riders. And even on set,
Like
I think
2-3 of them, bro.
we spent-
all day just shopping.
they refused to use the same face towel more than once, and we ended up spending $1,200 for the day just on face towels. I mean, it's just insane.
It gets gnarly.
And that's how it is for these label reps, to bring it full circle. And why I think we get a lot of work from them is because it's like, it's not their money. They don't really care. They just want to get the job done. That's all that really matters to them. So if you can come in there and be like, hey, I'll handle the artists. And I think a lot of other producers come from, obviously I'm white, but like they come from like a different background, you know what I mean? A little more uppity. And where me and Lopes came from, like growing up like around drugs and violence and all that stuff, like not like I'm like a drug dealer or a rapper like them, but I at least know we can communicate with them and I understand it.
There's a specific type of person. You
Yeah.
gotta be a specific type. You gotta have a certain type of like street knowledge to like deal with this world. Like
Yeah.
you can't just throw some kid off college like
Out of film school, they're not
into,
gonna know how
like,
to.
some world like they
You got to be a
already-
fucking hustler.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the difference I think with us and where I get a lot of jobs and these label reps see us and want to hire us again. Is because like we're down to like
And
argue
bro,
with
no
these fools.
social media. I mean, we're lacking because
No website, haven't posted in like
Yeah.
a year.
like we're really like the whole the social media part of it, like we're lacking, but we're gonna fix it. But like
We are gonna
we're
fix it.
still making shit happen. It just people don't know, like people have no clue.
But you
the
want all
work
the
we're doing.
shorties to know.
That's
mean,
that's what we that's what we do it for.
Sometimes, nah, I actually don't.
That's why every dude wants to be successful, right?
Yeah,
Give more shorties.
Yeah, it's the angle.
Is that the truth or what, Lopes?
nah.
Really boil it down for a sec.
I don't do that stuff. I'm a good man.
You guys are getting your wheels turning. You get that one big project. Things accelerate during COVID. Now, how does the budget work? So let's say the label's like, all right, this fucking video is 150 racks. You two deliberate like, yo, can we do this shit for 70? And then you take home the 80 that's left over, essentially, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we're
It
coming under that much. But
It varies, bro. I mean, it's like sometimes you lose money, sometimes you make a lot of money. You know what I mean? It really depends on what type of project it is and how intense the creative is. There's been jobs that we've lost, like, the big job we did, that was like probably our biggest budget. I think we made like 3,000. And that was like, we should have made like 40, 45.
What's that
yeah,
resume
even-
builder
even
though?
more. What?
What's that resume? But that's essentially, they'll just cut you a fat check and then they're like, yo, go do something with this.
I mean, that's how it is with every project. Like, they're gonna freak out on you if you come to them with like saying you need
Yeah.
more money. It doesn't matter. If you sign a contract for I'm gonna do this for 100K, like it better happen for 100K. There's exceptions where if like on set the artist does something, like they show up late or they want like a bottle of Hennessy, whatever. Like that's an overage you negotiate with them. But yeah, like when we sign that contract, like you're getting it done for that number, no matter
You're
what.
pretty much being like, yo, I can do it for this. That's why you send the budget prior to
Yeah.
like any contract conversation.
But that's all just like negotiations, I guess. Like that big budget. How much did they tell us to bid it for? Like 50K?
Started at like 50, then went
And we
up
got it
to
to, like-
90, and then went up to like 130, and then
Ended at like 280, 300.
yeah. And
what do they want? Like jetpacks and shit?
They want to be strapped to the roof of 18-wheeler trucks. That's what they wanted.
It was like Mad Max vibes.
Yeah.
It was
And
gnarly,
bro,
but
we
we
had a full airplane shipped out and disassembled as like a broken set.
Like
and then packed
wheels
up and sent
shit
home.
from like Nevada, bro. It's crazy.
Now, you guys in your mind must have the thought that you could produce something narrative at a large scale now, right?
Yeah.
It's the same process.
Bro, someone said to me when I was in Miami, this DP said to me, bro, if you can do music videos, you can do anything else. Like, you can do everything else. The shit you go through in a music video sometimes, the stress level and like the just the angles you get hit with. If you can deal with that, bro, I'm pretty sure you can deal with
It's
like,
the same skill set.
Yeah.
It is.
but
Producing anything.
Yeah.
yeah, but you're dealing with like A-list people. You're dealing with egos. You're dealing with, you know, weird situations. Overtime, you're going through every type of scenario you can think of. You know what I mean? Even like being in the hood, shooting like around gangsters with guns around you. You know what I mean? Like that's like a whole like running gun.
I know, you were gone. I went to one of your sets. Damn SWAT team
Oh,
outside.
yeah, it looked like
You
they're
know
playing
what I'm
Call
I
of
was like,
Duty. Yeah.
I was like, I think I'm in Baghdad. What is going on here?
Yeah, bro. It's just I've been in weird ass situations, but if you learn how to do that, bro, I'm sure you can do a commercial with like an agency and like pull it out well.
But yeah, narrative stuff's definitely like in the works for us. I mean, like I said, we've already done big. Like we did 300K budget, but that was for like one day. Some people shoot like a whole film that's $1 million over like 30 days. You know, so I think we could definitely handle big sets like that.
Yeah.
Like
I think you guys will enjoy it too because the set is different. The set unifies on something narrative. It's not like
For
it's not like you guys have to, like on set now you have to pull your most out of your people.
Yeah.
On something narrative, it's one goal.
100%. Yeah.
I think we'll be fine, bro. I mean, it's a patience game.
Is that what you want though? Do you want to shoot movies?
Bro, me personally, I want to like build
Company.
a little empire that like does everything, you know? Not only just LA, like you look at bigger production companies that have like offices all over the world, like that's fucking sick. You know, if we can expand into like a world base and then on top of that do like narrative stuff. I mean, I think the narrative stuff is really comes down to like you have an idea and you kind of want to do something, you know? Like everything else is very service based.
It's also not a fast process at all. It's
No,
long,
it takes
bro.
years,
Yeah.
you know?
Funny.
You guys are so used to this, like
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think this is going to be forever, you know?
for sure.
If we're building a company like this.
But that's the goal. Is like you guys just want to build the company.
I
I mean, Gal might
bigger
have
than that.
bigger than that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, Lopes like was going to school for like business. Like before, I know I went to film school. It's a whole story how that pivoted. But like before that, I wanted to like do investment banking. I think we're both very
Yeah.
like entrepreneurial like mindsets. Like before, well, we did BT. Like we had a whole like Amazon store that was doing like 7 figures a year in revenue,
Me too.
which isn't the
I did
craziest
too.
thing. Yeah,
You
you
had
know,
an econ store.
we did that.
What were you guys selling?
Put chargers, like drawer
bamboo
dividers. Yeah.
some
I used to sell
magnetic
children's
vent
books.
covers.
Yeah. I used to sell
interesting.
like spoon sets, not spoons, like cutlery.
Arthritis. It was like
Arthritis.
special grip for like
Yeah.
the elderly.
So you guys have always just wanted to get to the money.
Yeah, I think it's like competitive. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's. I won't speak for Lopes. For me, it's less so about the money. That's like great. I just want money so I can like execute more. Like I'm a very competitive person. Like I come from
Yeah.
like a soccer sports background. Like that's all it is. Like always for me is just like being the best and just seeing what I can do. Like we had the summer vibe thing. Like we try to start those concerts that we did. I'm trying to think what else we've done. We've done a bunch of other things. We had art
I mean,
dealing.
bro, we just jumped around shit that like trying different things.
In the
and,
same
like,
way.
This one just this did the whole production company thing is like it just worked
Yeah,
and it's like our main. I feel like it will always be our main business.
it's a great foundation point to build
Yeah,
off because
and
we
it's,
meet
like-
so many rich people who like want to invest. It's a good PR
creative,
thing.
bro. It's like it's cool. Like we do cool
It's
shit all
fun.
the time. It's fun, you know. But like we have ideas to do different things. It's just a matter of like, in my opinion, you really gotta master one thing, create a lot of revenue off that, and then at that point, it's like, all right, I'm gonna pay you to do this. I'm gonna pay you to do that, and then build off that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, between me and him, we're already fucking sometimes like we have so much shit to do. Now imagine have 2-3 other businesses.
Yeah.
How do you guys assess risks now? You go for everything?
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro.
We
Say yes
lost,
to everything, right?
we lost like 80 grand last year trying to like start a studio. And I think we got this.
What
app.
happened?
It's kind of like what Los was just saying of like the biggest goal I think and the most important thing is like getting your bread straight. Like as long as your art no matter what you're doing, but I'll use this as an example, as long as your art is dependent on money, it's never going to be your art. You know, you're always catering to a client or an artist or something, you know. The second we get our own money and we can just fund our own movies, it's like we're doing what we want. I think the issue with the studios that we had was like we bit off more than we can chew. We have this beautiful thing working with a production company that's like finally making a lot of money now, and we were like so ready to jump ship and like try and take on more work. We realized we kind of need to let this grow for like another
Like lack
2-3
of
years.
knowledge too, bro. In some ways, you know, just like trying to do too much at the same time. It's like why? It's like we got something that's starting to work. Like let's focus on this,
Let's hammer that.
Yeah,
build that, make this shit like fucking autopilot, and then go do other things. You
Yeah.
know. And I think that's kind of what will happen eventually. It's like once this thing is really like, because we can put this in autopilot. I know we can.
Yeah.
You know, to the point that like me and him could go fuck off like in some other country or some other state. Obviously, we're always gonna have to be present.
You got to hire an amazing team though. That's
I
the
think we
big
have a
thing,
pretty
right?
good team right now for
yeah,
sure.
we have a solid team. I mean, we've built like a pretty loyal team and everybody.
The whole team is from
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah.
Like everyone moved
know, I
out
saw
from
that
Well,
on
Boston.
except Tolly. Tolly's from here.
Tolly's not. You're right.
But but bro, like once you can pay someone salary, and like I'm sure if you look hard enough, you find someone that's like really solid and down for the vision. And I mean, Gal's really like, he's like really pro like making sure people get their benefits, their low bonus, etc. Which I think he's does really well
So you
with that.
make it like a legit business. You know what I mean? Like we're getting like health insurance this year, and like I'm talking about like maybe buying like a laptop for everyone every year, or like phones and stuff. I think those small things really add up and together to like make it like a legitimate business, you know? Because that's the issue that we had. It's like we're still pretty young, like we're 26 years old, and you know, running a pretty massive company, like a lot of big things going on, and we're learning as we go. Like it's important to kind of like step back and make it a little bit more like a 9 to 5. As much as we both hate 9 to 5s, it's like important to find that like structure and that routine, so that you can make it easier for people to come into the company and
Yeah.
and operate and work.
But this shit is tough, bro. This shit's like, it's not 1 + 1. It's like it's not easy. But once you figure it out, it's just, bro, you put time into something, you believe it, you like it, it'll work itself out. You know what I mean?
Are you guys still friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't go out and party together. I try and avoid that.
Yeah. I mean, Gal's he's got his own world.
You gotta understand, like
But honestly, I actually appreciate that because it separates. Like,
we've lived together for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
We work together.
You still live together.
Yeah, we still do. The two of like our the team lives with us too, because that's like the
Yeah.
most efficient way to run the business. Is like we're clocked in 24/7. Like
yeah.
the client hits me up and I need a bid, you know, at 11. I'm like, yo, Lex, like let's get on this. It's like another big advantage we
It
have.
worked out, but obviously, eventually, like everybody's gonna go to their own spot, whatever. I mean, we're fucking adults, you know. But
Yeah. We're friends, but like we
Yeah.
also spend like
You guys ever square up?
oh, I mean, it's gonna be crazy. Not like
not physically.
physical, but we've had some crazy arguments.
Who's catching that dub?
But I
I mean,
don't
we're both
think
gonna say it.
anybody caught a dub.
Go on. Who's
Everyone's
who's catching
no,
the dub?
there's no winners in war.
Because he don't
Connor.
let down, I don't let down. Like,
It was a very political answer of you, Galileo. I know what you're thinking though.
yeah, he probably thinks he's always right. Bullshit.
But no, I think like whenever we can get like 3 hours away from each other, that's good. You know, it's not like we want to go drink. Like I can talk to Lopes. I've seen Lopes the last 4 years of my life. You know,
Yeah.
so I think it's good to like have space and separate.
Lopes, let me ask you a question. Sketch? Sketch? Escada?
Escada, what's that?
It's Portuguese, I'm assuming.
Give me some Portuguese words, bro. Escada?
That's stairs.
I thought it was ladder.
I mean, can be applied as both.
What would the latter even mean?
How about
Connor?
this? Lose?
Oh, lose. Yeah, that's good. There you go.
Yeah, you
You
know,
gotta come
you're-
to Brazil, bro.
Yeah, nah, for real. Can I come with you?
Bro, yes, bro. I love that place.
Carnival. next
Rio,
year.
like bro,
Carnival.
like, best. Like I mean, I went to Europe. It's cool.
I heard everyone in Brazil is hot.
It's a lot of hot. Yes.
almost.
Dudes and chicks.
Bro, even in the slums, bro, you like, whoa. Like,
That's a baddie.
wow. Like, that's like wifey material. But like,
Oh, that's where you're going for your wifey, going to the slums.
no, I don't. Like I said, cut it. But nah, it's a beautiful country, bro.
You two need to get yourself some Revere shorties and settle down
Revere?
from Revere, Mass.
Nothing against
Oh,
Revere,
no,
but
bro.
All right.
no.
All right.
I don't even go to
Roxbury?
No,
I feel like you're going down the list, not up the list for me.
bro. I don't like going to Boston.
What?
I just feel like it's
Yeah.
You've been back a bunch, though, yeah?
Bro, I'm there like
Bro, he
4 or 5.
loves that shit.
I fucking love Boston.
I
It's a
do
great
too.
city, best education in the country, best medicine.
I mean, I think
Fucking
it's a
frigid.
great city,
Sports.
but I go there.
5
and
minutes,
I feel,
got it.
I feel
Alright.
bored. You know what I mean?
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. We got 5 minutes. Now, quick question for you guys. We're on some boss talk. We already talked about this briefly. 15 years. I produced my Marvel movie. I was in a Marvel movie. I'm gone. I'm in the desert. My skin's dissolving. Where are you guys? What happened?
Mine's still just like the sports team, so I'll let you.
Me, bro. Just like on some like world traveler shit. Like change my family's life. Like just like doing what I want at the end of the day.
With this newfound bag, have you gotten your mom anything yet?
Oh yeah, bro. My mom has my credit card. She uses my credit card all the time.
That's dope.
Like, and I help like my family with like random things all the time. Just like, oh, use this or pay for this, you know.
How does that feel, bro? That's like that's
I mean,
an
bro,
incredible.
that's like cooler than like buying myself a nice car, or, like doing like.
But he's
random-
done both.
But I do both. Yeah, I'm a big spender sometimes. I know that. But like, it's bro. That's like I feel like that's like, at the end of the day, when I really make it, like, that's probably what's gonna make me the happiest. It's like, I don't know, bro, go help some kids in Brazil, or help my family, or help my little cousin like have the opportunity that like they wouldn't have if, you know, I didn't help them. Cause I got blessed to come here. You know, it's like, bro, it's like scoring a goal at like FIFA World Cup like finals, and like America is the place.
That's
that
what I'm going to be
changes
doing.
police.
But
Yeah, you have your soccer team, bro, but this place really changes people's lives, and like people don't understand that, or some people, if I wasn't here today, bro, I would have never had the life that I would just probably have like a regular life in Brazil.
What do you guys consume for entrepreneurial content? Do you?
yeah,
I mean, bro, I'm like, I social media shit, like,
YouTube a little bit, but also like I feel like we just like grew up. Again, it sounds like I'm gassing up our friend group, but like I think just like the way we grew up, like we had like the weirdest combination of like just absolute like not drug addicts. We were doing a lot of random drugs, crazy things, but like also super smart kids.
super
like
smart.
like Gabe,
Yeah.
Phil. We had like Phil in the group who got hired by Nerf to like because he was making so many. He was 3D printing like Nerf gun mods and like ended up working for Nerf and doing that.
Yeah.
Gabe. I mean, we just like
Nobody got money from their parents, but everybody had hustled some way, shape, or form.
Ramon is another friend in the friend group is importing lumber, doing commodities from Brazil
And
to
sell solar
America.
panels, shit.
Not through any company. He's just going out,
Yeah.
finding people in Brazil, like getting wood and importing it and selling it in like the U.S. Like Gabe was doing like
That's amazing. That's infectious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabe's doing like Matterport, like 3D mapping scans, like
Yeah.
that.
Everybody had like the little hustle mentality. No matter.
Just coincidentally.
I think that's why we all gravitated to each other. It was because we all love drugs and we all love like
Yeah.
business ideas and scheming, I guess. So like, I mean, what Yanni does made tons of money doing jewel sticker printouts,
Yeah,
like
bro.
custom.
Shit, it was
I mean,
killing it,
clearing
bro.
like $100,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where we get it. It's just like the boys, just like texting them with like an idea or this or that and seeing what makes sense.
You guys ever sell drugs? I did.
Can't see it on camera.
I used to sell Adderall in college,
Can't
There you
see it
go.
on camera.
Drugs are terrible.
but then I started selling T-shirts. Hustling the right way.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen. We got to wrap this up. I just want to say thank you, Jeff. You're doing a great job over there. We got the timestamps on what we got to cut out. Alex, thank you for the amazing setup today. Kyle, thank you for all your smiles and your laughs and making me feel confident. Now, guys, this is how we start and end the episode.
Okay.
I'm only going to say it once, and you guys are smart, socially equipped young men. So please don't make me reiterate myself. You're going to slate to the camera. And this is, you guys are production guys, so it's pre-production, post-production here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're going to say, hi, your names, and this is my golden hour. Directly after, no break, hi, your names, and that was my golden hour.
Bro, you got me lost.
No, I think I got it.
You got me-
I'll do the practice
Mayor
one
Walsh
first.
got this in one shot.
You got Marty Walsh on the podcast and I missed that?
Motherfucker, I've been established.
No.
You got Marty Walsh?
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
I worked for Marty Walsh.
Yeah, we did a little
you mean the
campaign video.
You mean the nicest guy of all time?
He's cool. I actually like him.
It's the working man.
All right, but what did...
This camera?
Yeah,
All right, I'm going to
you
go
start,
first.
'cause I don't know what he said.
I'm probably going to mess up the first time, but here we go.
Here we go.
Hi, my name's Galileo, and this is my golden hour. Like that? But I was supposed to go straight into the, my name's Galileo, and that was my golden hour.
He got it.
All right, I'll do it the right way. Hi, my name's Galileo, and this is my golden hour. Hi, my name's Galileo, and that was my golden hour.
Wait, which one?
You're saying
That-
both.
You do
It's
both.
Intro and
All
outro.
right.
You did both, Lopes.
Hey, my name is Lopes, and this is my golden hour. Or that was. Oh, hey, my name is Lopes, and that was my golden hour.
Hold on real
No.
quick. That was well executed. And I just all want us to just go like this. Put your hands together real quick. No, not clap. Not clap. Just pray to the dear gods for more success in the city. Thank you.
Boom.